All right. Which anime item do you take? Probably full geek breakdown, about to waste a bunch of people's times.
So you see, you find these four things, but you can only take one. Which one do you take? I'll tell you what I'm not taking right now, Sukuna's fingers. I already got plenty.
I agree with the sentiment because I'm not eating a finger. That's just not happening. Like there was like he just had the finger and then nothing really mattered. Like eating it was the thing that did the thing. And I'm not gonna eat a finger just to Aura farm. It's not gonna be worth it in the like grand scheme of things.
Of voices in my head telling me they don't like me to do evil things. I do not need another. And billionaires and half of the American government would hate to see me get my little hands on this journal that I can't name for TikTok reasons, but there's really
The Unalive Journal.
nothing you can't accomplish with this little book right here that you can't accomplish with these two things. And also,
I mean, like, in terms of like end result, I would agree with that sentiment, but like the Unalive Journal allows you to be very what is it descriptive with the way that someone dies. And technically you're not the cause unless if you choose to be. You can unalive people in a myriad structure of ways, allowing you to like kind of like, you know, write in that they got like a heart attack or they accidentally stepped into traffic, they fell down a lot of stairs, like any sort of things. I wouldn't say that you could do the same with the Dragon Balls or the Omnitrix. I mean like you could I guess like theoretically like kill people with them, sure, but like the end result might be the same, but like I feel like that's the reason why the Death Note was so like unique is that it was more than just the end result. Because technically a gun is like a more effective if you're just after the end result, pew bang, one button. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if you actually can unalive anybody with the Dragon Balls. I don't think anybody has been unalived with the Dragon Balls. I'm pretty sure no one has. So, like, I don't know if you can. Anyway,
the
continue.
second you start writing names down in this little journal right here, your soul is literally destined to go to heaven. And I don't need that. On top of that, on account
That's probably valid.
of the fact that this would be my first time using the Dragon Balls, I would only get one wish. And while I could wish to get it,
Yeah, I did kind of figure depending on like the limitations of the Dragon Balls, like it would depend on like the like iteration of it. Yeah, it's a good chance that it is just one wish. But with that being the case, I feel like a similar argument could be made against the Omnitrix. It's like you have no reason to believe that it has any alien DNA or data. Like none at all. Especially since it would be here in our world. We're the ones getting the thing. So like let's say it was able to magically have all the known aliens. Well, there wouldn't be any known aliens. And let's say like I mean like it could be that you're bringing over the alien entry from the fictional world, but that also might not work. I feel like all these other things, the fictional element is applied in the real world, where that one would have to have its fictional element applied in the fictional world, so that way it could be useful in the real world. So I feel like you could make that argument, but and like because of that, like unless if you have like aliens from like already entered, you have to go and use the Omnitrix like a Pokedex. Good luck finding any aliens to scan. I mean, we keep getting conspiracy theories, so maybe you might be able to turn into a wannabe Roswell alien.
$1 billion, or to be immortal, or to allow humans to drink salt water and, like, survive it. Well, all of those wishes would be absolutely insane and super, super awesome. Feasibly, there's really no one wish that I can get from the Dragon Balls that outweighs everything I could accomplish with the Omnitrix.
Again, like, I feel like the argument could be made that, like, the Omnitrix isn't going to be useful here unless if it has like stuff already on it, which it could theoretically, but it's also possible that those aliens might not work theoretically. I don't know. I feel like there's more things against that. Like I guess you could say the same with like the Dragon Balls because like what's if we don't have the Namekian here, would they just become inert? I don't really know of the Dragon Balls working in another dimension. There was like the Super Dragon Balls that were spread between two dimensions, and they would be like interchangeable because of that. But other than that, like the regular ones, I feel like theoretically speaking, the only thing that could, if you got really in depth with like the literal aspect, the only thing that could potentially like have any sort of power would probably be the Death Note on like being a little bit anal with the technicality. But if you're giving everything carte blanche, again, I don't know where the Omnitrix would even stand because like you can't assume that you have peak Omnitrix. You can barely assume that you would have what Ben got. And then even if you did, you can't really guarantee that you'd be able to do anything with it. That was like the whole thing with like Vilgax. It could be even worse here. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about the Omnitrix.
See, the Omnitrix has 1 million, in fact, actually over 1 million DNA samples in it from aliens. Ben has only accessed a mere fraction of what his potential is.
Because, like, what's the point of scanning them? Wait, hold on. Why did he scan any of them if they were already entered? I feel like it had the potential to archive a billion, but I don't know if it had it already, did it? And then again, I don't know how well they come into play in a universe that doesn't have any aliens knowable. I'll know. But you know what? I'll give it. Let's say it just works. It just works. Sure. But again, like if Ben could only access like a small fraction of them, why are you thinking that you could access more? That would be like being able to. Let's say you got the Namekian Dragon Balls instead of the I guess Earth ones. You expecting to be able to make a wish when you don't know Namekianese or whatever? I mean, I feel like some of the limitations need to be acknowledged, but like the Omnitrix one is kind of weird. To me, the Omnitrix one is like kind of like on par with like the Sukuna one, especially since some of them had like sentience inside them, and you can't guarantee any good things are going to happen. You had the whole like freaking like what was it, Ghost Freak or whatever was like in there, and like that was like a super bad thing. I think the Upgrade was like a bad thing, sort of, kind of. I don't know. The Omnitrix is iffy. To me, the safest option just seems like the Dragon Balls.
The Omnitrix. Alien X's current strongest transformation has the ability to warp reality. There is nothing that you can accomplish with these three things that you could not accomplish with the Omnitrix.
Well, again, you can't do that unless if you're able to convince the sentient beings to actually do whatever it is you want to do with that form. Other than that, you are likely to just sit there forever because you can't agree to do anything. What do you think you're going to do with that? Like, what do you think you're going to do with that? How are you going to do things that, like, I don't understand. I feel like there's something missing here. I feel like he just went off of, like, the peak scope of, like, what is potentially awesome, but, like, ignored, like, the 20 billion rules in order to achieve the thing.
It's the Omnitrix by a mile. So you see, you find these four things, but you can only take one. Which one do you take?
What was this conclusion? Sorry.
That you can accomplish with these three things that you could not accomplish with the Omnitrix. It's the Omnitrix by a
yeah, no, I completely disagree. I think the Omnitrix is way, even if you have everything exactly the way that I kind of paused you at a bad frame there, my guy. Here, I got you. We'll just do that. Even if you get everything that you say you're gonna get from the Omnitrix, access to it all, whatever, to me, it would end up being more dangerous, if not as dangerous, as having Sukuna's finger and actually choosing to eat it, or the Death Note and actually choosing to write in it. I like all the reasons you said that were bad. I feel like there are like really bad reasons to grab the Omnitrix. The safest bet, let's say he's right, you only get one wish with the Dragon Balls. That's still your safest bet. When I think about it, I really don't think, I could be wrong on this, but I really don't think you can unalive anybody with the Dragon Balls. I don't think it's ever been done from what I can vaguely remember of the show. I've rewatched a lot of episodes independently because of reruns or whatever, but like, what I don't think you can actually kill anybody with the Dragon Balls. In terms of like power output, like theoretically, maybe, possibly, but I would argue that you probably can't because, like, one, it hasn't been done. I guess that doesn't mean too much, but two, I feel like no, I'm standing by this. I have, Goku, the Yardrat thing. No, not the Yardrat thing. The Cell thing. Cell thing? The Cell thing. Both. Both? Didn't, I hate not remembering things. Didn't Goku deny the wishes for both? Wasn't he able to be wished back from wherever the heck he was? But he said that he was training on Yardrat, or he said that he was training out there. He's fine or whatever. He doesn't want to just be wished back or whatever. He might have just done that with just like the communication thing. But I know for a fact that the Cell rebirth thing he denied, or I have them backwards, I don't remember, but one of them he had legitfully denied the wish, and therefore the dragon was not able to do it because he was not willing to be brought back or brought from one location to another. Therefore, I feel like you probably can't unalive anybody if all they have to do is go, no, and then that's it. Like, I think that they draw the line at being able to do that. I think he'd have too much ability to contest it. But I could be wrong. I could be remembering a bunch of things wrong. But based off of my assessment, this is too dangerous. All the other things too dangerous. You'll probably be satisfied with the minimal stuff with the wish. And not only that, Shenron has a much better track record than Genie's. He literally grants wishes as intended. Like, you don't have to be super detailed about it. He's like, what do you want? All right, I have an understanding of what you want. Here you go. You have it now. And that's it. Literally it. Shenron's your best bet. Everything else is way too dangerous or just not. No, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.